So you've stuck around long enough to know the difference between the four parts of Medicare. And what I'd like to do now is talk specifically in detail about the need for a Medicare supplement plan and the differences between a Medicare supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan. If you look at the Medicare and You guide, which we have mentioned several times now over the last couple of videos, you'll notice on page 100 of 2016's guide that it will say that different insurance companies may charge different premiums for the exact same policy. It's written right here in the book. And if you go to the next page, it shows the 10 different Medicare supplement policies that are standardized. And the key word here is standardized, meaning that Plan F with one company is completely 100% identical to Plan F with any other company that you're looking at. Not every company offers the same plans, but they have to offer at least some of the 10 plans that are standardized. They can't come out and say that we're going to offer a plan that is completely different than what Medicare allows us to do. So Plan F with one company is exactly the same as Plan F with any other company. And what we do here at the Medicare Help Network is shop the market for you to get you the very, very lowest cost premium for the plan that you choose. The other question is, well, what plan do I choose? What plans do I need to go over, and what plans do I compare? Some companies offer plans like L, M, N. Some companies offer plans like G, F, N. So it just depends on which company you're dealing with. But when we look at the guide, here it compares all 10 plans. You'll notice some plans, like Plan A, only cover Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, the blood, and the hospice or the co-insurance payment. But it doesn't cover anything for skilled nursing care, Part A deductible, Part B deductible, excess charges, so on and so forth. So Plan A has, you notice it has some of the lowest benefits, but then you have other plans that will offer 50% of the coverage for some of the services. Some plans like Plan L that offer 75% of the plans for some of the services. Some of the plans that a lot of people recognize are Plans F and Plans G. Plan F offers 100% of everything. So essentially you would owe $0 out of pocket for any of your hospital or medical expenses as long as you have a Plan F. Meaning that when you go and show them your Medicare card and your Medicare supplement, that's it. No medical bills. With Plan F, everything is 100% approved. As long as you have Plan F, as long as it's Medicare approved, Plan F will cover 100% of everything else. You'll have no out-of-pocket expenses. Then the next step down is Plan G. We're going to go into the differences between Plan F and Plan G in a later video, but what I want to show you is right here, the only difference between Plan F and Plan G is your Part B deductible. So your out-of-pocket would be $166. That's the Part B deductible for 2016. And then everything else is covered at 100%. Then you go to Plan N. It has a copay every time you go to the doctor. And then essentially it's very similar to Plan G and to Plan D. If you notice, they're pretty much identical in benefits. The only thing that changes is the price that you would pay. So just remember, when you're dealing with an independent broker, and hopefully you are, that they can shop the market for you to find the very lowest cost of all of the plans that are available in your zip code and offer you the plan with the very lowest premium. Because after all of the plans are completely standardized. It doesn't matter which company you choose, the services are exactly the same. The only difference is the premium, the monthly cost that you pay for that plan. So keep in mind, you want to make sure you're getting the lowest rate, you're getting the best deal, and that you get the biggest bang for your buck. Now, you'll also have a choice to stay away from Medicare supplements, which I don't recommend for people. But if you can't afford the premiums of a Medicare supplement plan, then you might have to consider a Medicare Advantage. But I want to explain what you're getting yourself into when you go with a Medicare Advantage plan. If you look at my screen here, this is the Medicare.gov website. It says, how do Medicare Advantage plans work? And I'm going to read from my screen. Medicare Advantage plans, sometimes called Part C or MA plans, are offered by private companies approved by Medicare. If you join a Medicare Advantage plan, you still have Medicare. You'll get your Medicare Part A hospital insurance and Medicare Part B medical insurance coverage from the Medicare Advantage plan and not original Medicare. If you continue down, it says Medicare pays a fixed amount for your care each month to the companies offering Medicare Advantage plans. These companies must follow rules set by Medicare. And here's the important part. However, each Medicare Advantage plan can charge different out-of-pocket costs. Each plan can also have different rules for how you get your services, like whether you need a referral to see a specialist, if you have to go to doctors, facilities, or suppliers that belong to the plan for non-emergency or non-urgent care. And these rules can change each year. I'm going to show you on my screen here a chart that shows the difference between a Medicare supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan. So if you look at my computer, when you're considering a Medicare Advantage plan, consider this. The clients that we help typically are on a fixed income. So you budget it every single month what your expenses are going to be. With an Advantage plan, you have co-pays. It's pay-as-you-go type plan. So you'll have co-pays that you'll have to pay when you go to the doctor. And typically out-of-pocket costs on an Advantage plan are $6,700 a year at the most that I've seen it so far. And it could be different from different companies that you're dealing with, but $6,700 is typically the norm when it comes to an Advantage plan, and that's a lot of copays. If you're healthy and you never go, you might not experience any of that, but what I tell people is you don't buy a Medicare supplement for when you're healthy, you're buying it for when you're sick. But when you're sick, you're going often and you have physical therapy or chemotherapy of things of that nature, and you have a copay every time you go to the doctor. What a lot of people tell me is, David, I feel like I'm being nickeled and dimed with my plan. Can I switch? Well, here's the problem with switching. You cannot switch, unlike a Medicare supplement. You cannot switch whenever you want. You have certain times of the year, usually between October 15th and December 7th, of when you can switch to a new Medicare supplement, which will take effect January 1st. Now, here's the thing. If you're sick, let's say you just got diagnosed with something and you want to switch to a different plan, switch off your Medicare Advantage plan and onto a Medicare supplement plan, you're going to have to go through medical underwriting. And if you have these pre-existing conditions or something that you're dealing with, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to qualify for the new plan. It's like I tell people as an analogy, you can't get fire insurance while your house is burning down. So even if you're healthy right now, we don't need insurance until we need insurance, and you never know what's going to happen during the year that may eliminate you from being able to change that plan due to your medical conditions. On a Medicare supplement, your open enrollment is typically 6 months before and 6 months after you turn 65, where you can get a Medicare supplement without any medical underwriting. There are no questions. It's a simple 5-minute application, and that's it. Now, once you're out of that enrollment period, let's say you went with an Advantage plan and you decided not to get a Medicare supplement when you first enrolled and took Part B, you will have to go through medical underwriting. So keep that in mind for those of you who are healthy now and want to postpone getting a Medicare supplement. You might not be able to qualify for it. Now, if you look here at the chart, Medicare supplement does not have a restrictive network of doctors or hospitals. With a Medicare Advantage plan, you'll have to find out which doctors and hospitals you're allowed to use. There's co-payments associated with the Medicare Advantage plan. There's not typically with the Medicare supplement if you choose the right supplement. The out-of-pocket on a Medicare Advantage plan is $6,700 a year typically depending on what company you're with. Whereas with a Medicare supplement, you don't have that high of an out-of-pocket. With the Medicare supplement, the health plan does not decide what tests and procedures you're approved for. With the Medicare Advantage, you have to get a pre-approval to see if the Medicare Advantage plan will even approve those procedures, even if the doctor says it's medically necessary. If you don't get a pre-certification for any procedure that you might get done with the Medicare Advantage plan, you might be penalized. You can go to any doctor or hospital anywhere, anytime with the Medicare supplement. But with the Medicare Advantage plan, your networks are restricted and limited. And if you notice with a Medicare supplement, MD Anderson Cancer Treatment Center, the Mayo Clinic, specialists of those sort are included, whereas with an Advantage plan, they are typically not. So to summarize the difference between a Medicare supplement and a Medicare Advantage, the Medicare Advantage plan will typically include your prescription drug covers and may have a lower premium, but you'll have much larger copays and out-of-pocket expenses with the Medicare Advantage plan than with the Medicare supplement plan. You'll also be restricted as to which doctors you can use, and you have to stay within a network. Many times you have to stay within a certain geographical range, whereas with a Medicare supplement plan, you'll have the freedom to choose any doctor, anytime, anywhere in the country, any specialist. The copays with a Medicare supplement are typically lower, much lower than with a Medicare Advantage, and many times there are no copays depending on the plan that you have. With a Medicare Advantage, you will have copays, and they could be substantially large depending on what kind of procedures you may have to have done. But typically the out-of-pocket on a Medicare supplement will be much lower than with a Medicare Advantage plan, and you'll have the freedom to use your supplement anywhere that accepts Medicare.